So the inevitable finally happened. Jada Toys is having to raise their prices from $25 to $30. Shockingly, collectors are not happy about it. Is the honeymoon truly over for Jada Toys? Let's talk about it right now. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. So, yeah, there's all kinds of craziness going on the action figure front. Late last year, it kind of got started. We knew some of the contracts were going to be up for renewal. This was not exactly breaking news, but it just got more and more intensified with the turmoil, the hand wringing. Back in May 2023, McFarlane Toys issued this press release stating that, oh, yeah, we renewed our partnership with Warner Brothers. We're going to continue making figures of Batman and some of his friends through 2025. That was good news because they were really starting to gain steam with the license. Now, some people were really excited about the news of McFarlane losing the ability to make DC figures after 2025, and they started speculating right away. Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe this is the opening for Jada Toys to get a big license to do their spin on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League, etc. And if they can't do that, then oh yeah, we wouldn't be upset if Marvel Legends, if Hasbro stopped having the ability to make Marvel figures. Jada could do those too. Their figures are great. They're going to be awesome done by Jada Toys. I never quite agree with that mindset simply because Jada's still getting going with making figures. Their Street Fighter, their Mega Man lines are awesome. The ones that I have, you can see I don't have all the Street Fighter figures. Still working on it, still collecting the Mega Man figures, but I can say I've not been disappointed with any release, any figure that I've gotten. They're done so well, done with true love, unique sculpting parts as needed. It's really a fun line to collect. I am enjoying getting them. I just never saw the likeliness, the likelihood of them making DC or Marvel figures because I just figured it wasn't going to work. I mean, this style is perfect for what they're doing. They don't need to go shooting for the moon right now. Let's just keep going, getting home runs with each of these figures they're releasing. So when they announced, yeah, we're not going to be doing DC figures, Mattel swooped in, grabbed the license, they outbid McFarlane. I said, great. That makes more sense than Jada getting them. I still don't see Marvel transferring the rights over to Jada Toys, but whatever. I mean, Hasbro losing the license to make Marvel figures, so Jada can do it, but whatever. What they did do, however, was way more in their wheelhouse, something I thought was great when they revealed that, oh, we're not doing those Marvel figures just yet. We're going to be doing Scooby Doo. Where are you? And I thought this is a perfect marriage. And this line is funny. I think a lot of y'all were going, hey, where's Scooby Doo? Now, Jada was not doing action figures. They were doing these die cast metal vehicles. So this is like a good sign that, yeah, eventually we'll see their car, the mystery machine, and maybe whatever else makes sense. But this was really cool. Their first wave, shockingly, does not have Scooby Doo. And it's got Shaggy, it's got the Creeper, it's got the Mummy. And when these prototypes, these full glamour shots revealed, a lot of folks were excited, going, oh man, this line is going to be so much fun to collect. I'm going to get them all. And then a crazy thing happened. The price dropped. And then all of a sudden, all that excitement for the line is kind of waned significantly. Let me read some of the comments that I got from posting the links over my affiliate Entertainment Earth. $30 and not even a powered up head sculpt for Shaggy? Nah. What was another one? Wow, $30 was not expected. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in thinking 2025 was the expected price range for this line. I say this because I like Jada and what they have done so far. And although I don't care about Scooby, I'd have bought them to support, but not at that price. So I only see another one. Those look nice, but at 30 each, I got to pass, especially with so much else on pre-order. Now, this is interesting to me because I felt like Jada Toys is done making figures the right way. They haven't done these awkward reuse of parts that make absolutely no sense. What they've done unique sculpting. Fei Long, Ken Ryu don't look the same at all. Chun Li, she actually looks like she does in a video game. And the Mega Man figures, when it makes sense, they use that Mega Man base, but they don't use it for every figure. We've seen Dawson have extended limbs and Bison, totally different sculpt. I think it's made a lot of sense what they've been doing. And we kind of got a sign that maybe they weren't going to stick to making their great figures for 25 bucks when we saw the pre-order price for the Street Fighter Blanka figure. And that was 30 bucks. And I think a lot of folks were going, oh, well, I mean, it makes sense. He's a bigger figure. So yeah, he should probably be more. He's got, instead of the usual 2 accessories, and one of those, including the hands and the alternate head sculpt, I think that's 5. I guess that's what we got with Ken. We got his alternate head, got swappable hands. We got the stand for his fireball and the fireball. But people were going, this makes sense. He's a little bit bigger. I'm never a fan of going, oh, this figure uses more plastic. He should cost more. I'm always of the mindset of, hey, unless it's a true deluxe figure, let's keep that price consistent with everything. Back just a few years ago when we were getting the Marvel Legends Walgreens figures, the Thing figure didn't cost any more because he was bulkier. He was the same price as everybody else. And so it's like, okay, well, Blanka's 30 bucks. That's interesting. I know a lot of people were really, yeah, okay, that's fine. They're all in still with getting all of those figures. And then that same point, we got the Sagat figure, who was also up for pre-order the same point. And let me go to him and show you what he's rocking with in terms of accessories. He too, $30. And he's got the exact same accessory rollout as your Ken and Ryu. He's got his fireball, his tiger. He's got his alternate hands. He's got his alternate head sculpt, and he's got the stand for the fireball. So, and he's taller, of course. We know that. I mean, he's the big, lanky giant of the Street Fighter series. He looks great. Again, I note the wraps. That's not something they can reuse with anybody else. Clearly not the case with that torso. That is unique to Sagat. The scars on his head. I mean, we're not going to reuse head sculpts, but it's all unique done here. And the shorts, the texture work is great. I mean, unless they just give us more Sagat figures. Of course, there are more Street Fighter lines to do that, which they're not going to be able to reuse those parts. So I understand why their figures were the prices they were. But for some reason, it was okay for the Street Fighter figures to be 30 bucks, or at least Blanka and Sagat to be $30. But for the Scooby Doo figures, they was like, no, I want to pay him. Not going to support this line, which I again thought was really interesting because these figures look great. Let me pull up Shaggy and just go over what he's got. I love this head sculpt. He looks really happy. And you can see all this articulation he's got. I mean, he's got like multiple points in the neck, so he can do some really funky stuff. That's cool. Here's his accessory breakdown. The alternate head sculpt. He's got hands, of course. One to grab the Scooby snack. How cool is that? And a box of Scooby snacks. And I think there's some good photos here showing off that really great articulation model he's got going here. That's really fun. This is a really good one because you can see just how dynamic he can pose. And just like the Street Fighter figures, there's no need for any reuse here. And I'm kind of the mindset, if Shaggy and Fred have the same exact body sculpt, then there's something horribly wrong here. But I mean, I thought they did a really good job. I'm going to support this line. I'm not turned off by the fact that they're 30 bucks, but I mean, it's just the basis of what's going on right now. We're seeing figures go up in price all the time. And it's just a smaller company like Jada Toys is going to have to do that a little bit faster than your Hasbro's, your Mattels with their lines. Here's a look here at the Creeper. And again, totally unique sculpting. That's been one of their hallmark of their figures. And you can see this figure looks awesome. He's wider, he's bigger. His arms are far more elongated. He's got a mask to hold, or I guess for Fred to hold. And he's got his swappable head revealing his true identity, the alternate hands. Now, he doesn't have as much. There's no stand for any accessories or whatever, but really nicely done figure. And check out that articulation. That's really, really good considering what he's got, this big jacket and the way that he can sink down and hit those poses. That is really great. So, and I'm not upset about this. Check this out. I mean, you could actually do the mass reveal pose. How cool is that? And I've been a fan about what they've been doing with this line, and I think this is really cool. And then the final one in this line here, let's go to him. or at least this wave one, not the last one in the line. That's terrible. The Mummy. And you can see here, all the wraps are not all of them, but the wraps are individually sculpted. So there's no reuse possible here. Check out the sunken eyes. That looks really cool. And he's a really nicely done figure. He's got a little wrap coming up there, alternate hands, alternate head. Really fun stuff. And here's his poses. He can do some cool stuff too. Oh, really cool. There's another dynamic pose that it's just like, wow, who was expecting to get that? And check this running pose. I mean, this leaping pose. That's really cool. So you can do all kinds of great articulation. This is something fans have loved to see with these Jada Toys figures. And you can do the unrevealed too. I mean, that is so well done. And yeah, they're going to cost a little bit more, but that's just the nature of things. I mean, I bought Marvel Legends to start when they were $7.99. So every subsequent price hike has been like, okay, well, I used to buy McDonald's value meals for $3.14. They're like $8 and change now. I can guarantee the price has gone up. The taste is about the same. The fries aren't cooked the same way. The apple pies aren't cooked the same way. But I pay it because that's what I got to do if I want McDonald's. And I know it's like, oh, you're shill for these companies, but all the companies have raised the prices of their figures. And this is why I've been saying, yeah, we might want some changes with Marvel Legends, some enhancements, but we don't. I don't want to see another company doing Marvel figures because I would pay the estimated price hike whenever it comes for the next wave. Chris Cox is already saying, you're going to pay the price for those tariffs, adult collectors, because you got the money. I don't. Don't pass it on to me. You guys eat the cost, Chris. But it's just what's going to happen. I mean, they're going to raise the prices. And because I'm so invested with Marvel Legends, I'm going to keep paying the prices for those figures until somebody else takes a license or they're finally done with all the figures that I want, which seems impossible. I do really like the idea of Mattel getting the DC figures, though, because as we've seen, when Hasbro saw an opportunity to raise prices, it's getting passed down directly to you guys. When they started with $22.99 as the new price for the $19.99 Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Mattel stood firm. Their WWE figures were $19.99 for a long time after that. The Masters of the Universe figures were $19.99 as well. Then when Hasbro said, all right, that's not enough, we're going to take it to $24.99. Mattel said, okay, it's time for a price hike. Now their figures are $22.99. So starting up a new DC collection, it's not going to be too terrible. It's going to be all right, cool. Hopefully they'll go to $22.99 and then maybe go up to $24.99. We'll see. My allergies are ridiculous right now. They're the worst. But I'm excited to see that because Mattel's not going to go, we're going to charge $30 for our figures. But yeah, in terms of Jada Toys, maybe bumping their figures all the way up all across the board to $29.99. That's just what we're getting. They're not a big company. That's what I was saying originally when people were like, hey, they should do Marvel or DC. They're not a big company. They're doing niche products. And I really wish I had a Scooby Doo shirt instead of Warner Brothers, the Looney Tune gang. But that's just how it goes. I mean, we're going to have to pay a little bit more. We pay the extra price for NECA products. They're not the same price as Marvel Legends, as Masters of the Universe. And those who collect NECA figures just go, it's the cost of doing business to get these figures. That's how it's going to be to get more niche products like Scooby Doo figures, like Street Fighter figures that we can't buy at GameStop. So I'm not upset about it, but I do wonder how much this dings the fan love for Jada Toys and what collectors would want included with these figures to justify a $30 price point. What other accessories would they want to see? Now, I know from talking to guys who have designed figures, who've created them from the ground up, including the accessories, every time something's added, it's not free. It adds on to the cost. So what would make a Scooby-Doo line that was $30 worth it to you, where the company can still make their profit to keep cranking out more figures for us? Let me know. I'm really curious about this. Is your love of Jada Toys dissipated somewhat? Is it dulled? Or are you just like, I don't care the price of these Scooby-Doo figures. I'm buying all of them. Let me know as always. Thank you so much for watching. This episode of Loud's Figure Files has been filed.